Welcome back to my series, Dance Mums Unedited. This is the series where I discuss production notes written by producers of the show. It shows us behind the scenes information that we don't get to see from the episodes themselves. Today we're looking at Season 5, Episode 9. As always, there will be a link in the description box below which will take you to a PDF of these notes, so you can read through them in full detail. Because there was more to this episode than the producers cared to show. The week begins at the Fraser household, with Nia waiting in the kitchen to take a voice lesson over Skype. Nick, the vocal coach, and Nia play with the idea of making a dance remix of Star in Your Own Life, as well as making a music video. They do some vocal warm-ups, and then work on her song. Nick gets her to imagine opening at Madison Square Garden for artists who inspire her, and Nia says that she doesn't want to be opening for anyone else. She wants to be the one performing. As they finish, Holly tells Nia that she is welcome to tell the other girls that she's been taking these lessons, but she shouldn't feel that she has to. The girls and mums enter the den at the ALDC. No one seems to want to talk about the Maddie B music video situation from last week. Instead, they talk about their positive experiences in LA. Jill has a more negative outlook, however, saying that nothing that they did in LA couldn't have been done in Pittsburgh. Jill thinks that Nia's recording session was planned before their trip to LA, but Holly assures her that while she was in touch with Aubrey, nothing was scheduled in advance. Kendall tries to tell everyone about a song that she recorded with Abby's team, but Kenzie interrupts her, telling everyone that she will be singing live on Fox next week. In Pyramid, Abby immediately brings up the fact that one of the ALDC group routines, Moulin Rouge, didn't even place last week. Melissa blames it on the fact that they don't often go to that competition, but Abby silences her. Abby decides instead to talk about Maddie's experience on Austin and Ally. Melissa tells her that everyone on set was so excited to meet Abby. Abby says that her name opens doors for her students, discussing the recent accomplishments of Maddie, Mackenzie and Kendall, the three girls who left the Maddie B music video shoot with her. Looking back at their LA trip, she justifies her absence in the Rage studio, saying that the floors were putting her students' bodies in danger. Recently, Abby has claimed that this particular floor left Maddie bruised all over. It's very hard to tell if this is just an excuse or a legitimate problem. If this were actually the case, perhaps she shouldn't have put so many knee drops into her choreography this season. Abby claims that Brynn is closer to what she's looking for in a dancer, not JoJo. She also announces that she wants younger dancers because she doesn't want to compete in the teen division. She says that she has no problem replacing them with, quote, newer models. In her most exaggerated impression of a New Jersey woman, Abby tells everyone that they will be travelling to New Jersey this week. When she gives Kalani a solo, she tells her that casting directors think that she's older than she really is. She instructs her to start appearing more youthful. She also gives Kendall a solo, telling her that she needs to be more mature. She instructs her to research the blues era in order to prepare for her routine. Holly and Nia are pleased at first when Nia is assigned a solo, but they quickly realise that it's another one of Abby's personal digs. She continues this trend in her announcement of the group routine, saying that the negative behaviour of one mum created a ripple through the whole team. During group rehearsals, Abby decides that she will cut Nia or Kalani to bring the group into the junior division. Up in the viewing room, Holly brings up the Maddie B video shoot. Kira points out that if Abby had read the contracts beforehand, all of the drama could have been avoided. Jill argues that if she had to choose between Blake or Abby being mad at her, it's no contest. She says that the video was just for some nobody YouTube kid. Holly becomes upset that Jill won't stand up to Abby and that she doesn't seem to recognise the great opportunity that the video was for their girls. Jill tries to deflect, saying that Melissa should have pulled Kenzie from the video right from the beginning, but Holly doesn't buy it. Kira says that dancing in the teen division is a good thing because it forces the girls to improve and get stronger. Melissa mentions that Kathy will probably show up at next week's competition. Holly and Jess seem to have bonded over the Maddie B experience. Holly and Melissa decide that they accept Jess as part of the team, even if Abby hasn't. The mums don't think that Abby's plan to open a studio in LA is a realistic one. Holly then plays Nia's finished song for the mums. They all congratulate Nia, and Kira says that she loves the lyrics. Melissa says it will be a club banger hit. Then they all discuss last week's duets. Melissa says that she didn't love Kalani and Sarah's duet. Jess feels as though Abby should have made the Lucy and Ethel routine stop when the music froze. Holly expresses her frustration that Abby refused to acknowledge Nia's accomplishments, yet gushed over the rest of the team at Pyramid. Jill retorts that Holly should have just mentioned the accomplishments herself if she wanted them to be brought up. Holly says that she's tired of being the only one to speak out against Abby, and she finds it offensive that the others claim to have her back when they clearly don't. She points out that she defends Jill when Abby attacks her for being a bad mother, and yet Jill doesn't reciprocate. Holly insists that Jill isn't having her back when she does nothing but whisper support over the phone. She calls her a coward and storms out of the room. The rest of the mums think that Holly is overreacting, and Jill wishes that Holly wouldn't turn everything into a fight. Jill questions Abby's motivations for Kalani's Pretty Little Liar solo. At first, Kira thinks that the whole situation is amusing, until Jess tells her that Abby told Kalani that she didn't want her to be, quote, rode hard and put away wet. I'm sorry, Abby said that to a literal child? That's revolting. How could any teacher not realise how wrong that is? The following day, the girls gather in the den. Maddie asks the rest of the team where Nia is. Kendall agrees with her mum's point of view, saying that Holly did what she wanted to do, and the other mums didn't because they knew what would happen. Melissa and Jill stop by at the front desk to talk to Abby. Abby asks them why Holly left during the previous day, and Melissa says that it was because she was fighting with Jill. Meanwhile, Maddie shares how she felt about getting pulled from the Maddie B video, but she says that she's still happy for the girls who got to stay. In the parking lot, Nia asks Holly what happened the previous day. She tells her mum not to let the other mums affect her, saying that she needs to pick and choose her battles. Nia then enters the den, and the girls are all overjoyed to see her. As the mums settle in the viewing room, Melissa apologises that Holly felt that she had to leave yesterday. Holly says she decided to leave before things could escalate. She says that she knows not to expect so much from the other mums, claiming that their relationships are conditional. Jill asks what Holly expected of them, and Holly says that she just wanted one of the mums to tell Abby to stop. Jill tries to insist that her relationship with Holly comes before her relationship with Abby, but Holly seems doubtful. Kira says that Nia has really matured from this whole situation. Jill and Melissa dismiss her point, saying that Kira doesn't know Nia like they do. But Holly agrees with Kira, saying that Nia needed a little dirt to help her grow. They all talk about Maddie B again, and Jill admits that she thinks that it's better to do what Abby says, rather than doing what is right. Holly points out that Abby's concerns about competing in the teen category is telling the world that she can only train junior dancers. Even recently, Abby seems to have reinforced this point, saying that she wished that the original team members were forced to quit the team when they turned 14. Holly then recounts the situation in the past when she protected Jill from Kaya, and the mums enthusiastically reenact the event. Abby sends Kendall and then Maddie upstairs to tell the mothers to shut up. Abby gives Nia correction after correction during group rehearsals. She then informs Kalani that she might not be in the group dance. Kalani doesn't seem fazed, just saying, okay. Jill expresses frustration that despite the fact that Kalani stayed for the Maddie B video shoot, her solo is finished and Kendall hasn't finished hers yet. Abby pulls the girls in for a huddle, asking Maddie if she notices that Melissa can't stop talking about her. Maddie rolls her eyes with embarrassment, saying that Melissa never stops. Abby adds, especially with those lips, referring to lip filler that Melissa had recently gotten. She talks to Kendall and Mackenzie about the responsibilities of being a singer, completely ignoring the fact that Nia is a singer now too. After group rehearsals, Kalani heads upstairs, telling her mum that she might be pulled from the group number. Kira acts like she will eventually talk to Abby about it, but the mums don't think that she cares enough to do so. Kira says that she will care when Kalani actually gets pulled, not just at the idea of it. Abby then talks to Kalani, asking how her mum reacted, and laughs when she hears her response. She tells Kalani that she looks great in the number, but her age is the issue. During Nia's solo rehearsal, she warns Nia that her costume looks great, but she must realise that it shows everything. I certainly hope she's just referring to the costume revealing her dance technique here, but given what she said to Kalani earlier this episode, we can't be 100% certain that it's an innocent comment. Abby goes upstairs to rant about the age divisions at the competition this weekend. Kira seems completely understanding about pulling Kalani out. She does ask why Abby is adamant on staying in the junior category though, but Abby doesn't give a definitive answer. The mums jump on Kira for not fighting for Kalani to be in the group, saying that they clearly care more than Kira does for her own kid. Kira says that she needs to ask Kalani about it, and Holly suggests that she should talk to her right now. Kira pulls Kalani aside for a pep talk, and Kalani doesn't seem to care either. She's confident that she won't be pulled from a group in the future. Kira explains that due to her age, it could happen again. Kalani tells her mother that she wants to be in the group, and that it's one of her favourite numbers, but she can't make Abby mad, otherwise she won't work on her solo. The next day, Jess and Jojo are the first to jump onto the bus. Abby holds the other girls back, giving them black coats that have their names and the ALDC logo embroidered on them. Abby rushes the girls back into the studio to put them on. Jojo seems disappointed that she didn't receive a jacket. Abby informs her that she ordered the jackets before Jojo came to the ALDC, saying that it's nothing personal. During the bus ride, Abby announces that Chandelier has been nominated for a Grammy Award. She hints at the possibility of Maddie performing at the Grammys. When the team arrives at the competition, the fans are chanting Nia's name. It's possible that production told them to do this to really sell Nia's underdog storyline this season. I'm not saying that Nia doesn't deserve it, but the timing is a little suspicious. We have seen footage of producers telling the audience what to shout at competitions, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did here. In the green room, Abby asks Kalani if she's ready to jump into the group as a swing. Kira reveals to the mums that Abby told Kalani last night that she might or might not be dancing in the group, so she must be prepared. Kira threatens that if Kalani is not in group dances moving forward, then she will go home. Holly can't take Kira seriously though. When Kira claims that she will obviously fight for Kalani to be here, Holly murmurs, "It's not that obvious." Jess compares the fact that Kira is not standing up for Kalani to Jill and Melissa not sticking up for their kids at the Maddie B video shoot. Jill and Melissa defend themselves, explaining that they have no regrets because they were trying to do what was right. Jill argues that choosing to leave the shoot was her choosing a future with Abby, rather than what the video had to offer them. Jess accuses Jill of being afraid of Abby. Jill then shouts that Jess has nothing to lose, and lists off the things that Kendall has to lose. Holly imitates Abby taking things away from Kendall, laughing at how ridiculous it would be. Jill is infuriated that Holly would even joke about it, considering how mad she was when Abby took Nia's song away. It does sound like Holly is rather antagonising and insensitive here. Jill leaves to go find Abby. She throws Holly under the bus, ranting to Abby about their argument. Abby reiterates why she didn't want the girls to be in the music video. Meanwhile in the green room, Jess tries to eavesdrop on their conversation. Holly rolls her eyes when she realises what Jill is doing. When Abby and Jill enter the dressing room again, Jill asks Abby if they were team players, and Abby explains again why she pulled the plug on the video. She even insults Blake, Maddie B's father. Jess says that she stayed because she had nothing to lose, and Abby responds, "No, you don't. Your kid is nothing." In hindsight, there is a lot of irony to this. Abby tells Jill and Melissa to move away from the heaters, once again referring to Melissa's enhanced lips. Kendall seems a bit hesitant about her hat as she runs through her dance in the green room. Holly gives Nia a pep talk, telling her to own the stage as if she were in a music video. Backstage, Jojo gives Nia a pep talk, telling her to kill it. During the solo, Abby claps as Nia hits her straddle jump. And as her solo comes to an end, Abby gives her a high clap, much to Nia's delight. Abby seems nervous about Kendall's hat during her solo, but also gives her a high clap as she hits her finishing pose. As Kalani steps onto the stage, Kendall's music begins to play. Abby signals for Kalani to exit the stage. The competition tries to play her song again, but it is cut short for a second time. Kalani continues to dance anyway, and finishes her solo. Abby gives her a high clap too. The notes mention that Kalani's original performance didn't have any music issues. It was only the second filmed version where the music cut out. This is highly suspicious given the fact that they had music issues 3 weeks in a row. It screams producer influence because the chances of that happening naturally are so slim. In the green room, the mums bicker once again about Jill running to Abby. Jess tells Jill that she's being played, and Jill reminds Jess that she still doesn't have a contract, saying that she's the one being played. Before the group dance, Abby tells Kalani to be in costume and ready to go, but that she won't be dancing. Kira calls Abby out for pulling Kalani. Abby assures her that it will not be a reoccurring thing. When Kira won't let it go, she becomes frustrated and tells her that she is embarrassing Kalani. Abby says that Kira should be grateful that Abby is even rooting for her. The mums take a break for lunch, leaving the girls alone in the green room. Nia plays her song for the girls, who get up and start dancing. Nia tells the girls that she doesn't know if they can be in her music video because Abby may not let them. The girls begin to lose interest as Nia begins explaining the meaning of her song. Kendall expresses annoyance that she hasn't received her song from Abby yet. Later, when everyone returns, Kendall explains the group dance. Kira mutters, "It's kinda like not putting Kalani in the dance, it's affecting everybody." Abby hands Kalani a costume, telling her that it's for use in the future. Abby instructs her to put it on for photos. She and Gianna then go to see Frank, the competition owner, and explain to him that their girls will be competing in the junior division. Backstage, Kalani gives the girls a pep talk. The notes confirmed that Kalani danced with the group for the second, non-judged performance, which often happened just for the sake of the cameras. At awards, Nia's solo doesn't place. Kendall comes 5th in the teen solo category. Kalani's solo wins 1st in both the teen category and in the overalls. The group dance wins 1st in the junior small group category. Out in the hallway, Nia and Holly have a pep talk. Holly reminds Nia of what her song is about, being a star in her own life. Nia admits that when she played her song for the girls, they were having fun and dancing, but it was still pretty awkward. She says it wasn't as exciting as when Mackenzie shows off her songs. In the green room, the mums speculate that Kira and Kalani might have known whether or not Kalani was going to be in the group dance. Kira confirms that Gianna knew, and that she secretly told Kalani last night. She says that Kalani only gave her a few details about their conversation. Jill tells Kira that she must not have a great relationship with Kalani if they can't tell each other everything. Kira screams at her for her insinuation. When Abby enters, the mums express their frustration that Kalani stood with the group as they received their award. Abby agrees that this was her fault, saying that she told Kalani to go up there because she just got caught up in the moment. Jill asks Gianna if she knew whether or not Kalani would be in the group, and Gianna says that she didn't know. The week concludes with the cast packing up and Abby dismissing herself from the room. And with that, we've reached the end of episode 9. Does it surprise you how often the mums were able to fight about the same things over and over? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.